The ancient Mediterranean world witnessed the clash of titans, a dramatic saga that would echo through the ages. Two powerful civilizations, Rome and Carthage, rose to prominence, each with its own unique strengths and ambitions. Rome, a rising power on the Italian peninsula, was known for its fierce legions, disciplined and relentless in their pursuit of victory. Carthage, a maritime empire based in North Africa, controlled vast trade routes with its mighty navy, dominating the seas and enriching its coffers. Their destinies were on a collision course, driven by mutual ambition and the desire for supremacy. The Punic Wars, a series of 3 epic conflicts, spanned over a century, testing the mettle of both empires. These wars were marked by brutal battles, cunning strategies, and dramatic turns of events, each side striving for dominance. The stakes were high. Dominance over the Western Mediterranean and the fate of 2 empires hung in the balance, with each battle shaping the future. These wars were not just about territorial expansion, they were about asserting cultural and ideological supremacy. They were a clash of cultures, ideologies, and ambitions, with Rome's republican values pitted against Carthage's mercantile prowess. Rome, with its land-based power and disciplined legions, faced Carthage, a mercantile empire with a strong naval tradition and vast wealth. The Punic Wars tested the limits of military innovation, strategic brilliance, and the resilience of both civilizations, pushing them to their breaking points. They left an indelible mark on history, shaping the destiny of the Mediterranean world and influencing the course of Western civilization for centuries to come. Rome and Carthage, 2 distinct powers, emerged from different worlds. Their paths to greatness were forged in vastly different fires, each leaving an indelible mark on history. Rome, founded on the banks of the Tiber River, was initially a small city-state. Over time, it grew in power and influence, driven by the ambition and resilience of its people. Its people, known for their discipline and tenacity, gradually expanded their influence. They were relentless in their pursuit of dominance, both militarily and culturally. They built a powerful army based on legions of citizen soldiers. These legions were the backbone of Rome's military might, enabling them to conquer vast territories. Carthage, on the other hand, was founded by Phoenician traders on the North African coast. It quickly became a hub of commerce and trade, attracting wealth and talent from across the Mediterranean. It became a wealthy and cosmopolitan center. The city's prosperity was evident in its grand architecture and bustling marketplaces. Carthage's strength lay in its maritime prowess. Its strategic location and advanced shipbuilding techniques allowed it to dominate sea trade. Its navy, manned by skilled sailors, dominated the Mediterranean trade routes. This naval supremacy was crucial for protecting its commercial interests and expanding its influence. Roman society valued military glory and civic duty. The citizens took pride in their contributions to the state, both on the battlefield and in civic life. Citizens held political power and contributed to the army. This blend of military and civic responsibility was a cornerstone of Roman identity. Carthage, in contrast, was a mercantile society. Its wealth was built on trade, and its citizens were more focused on commerce than conquest. Trade and commerce were paramount. The city's economy thrived on the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures from across the known world. It relied on a mercenary army and a powerful navy to protect its interests. This reliance on hired soldiers was both a strength and a vulnerability. These fundamental differences in their origins, values, and strengths would shape the course of the Punic Wars. The clash between these 2 powers was inevitable, given their contrasting ambitions and methods. What began as localized conflicts would escalate into a fight for survival. The Punic Wars would test the limits of both civilizations, leaving a lasting legacy on the ancient world. Despite their differences, Rome and Carthage initially coexisted peacefully. They even signed treaties recognizing each other's spheres of influence. However, beneath the surface of diplomacy, tensions simmered. Rome's growing power and expansionist ambitions made Carthage uneasy. Carthage, wary of Rome's intentions, sought to protect its interests in Sicily, a strategically important island. The island lay at the crossroads of their respective spheres of influence, making it a flashpoint for future conflicts. As both powers vied for control of the Western Mediterranean, competition for resources and territory intensified. Incidents of piracy and border skirmishes further strained relations. The seeds of conflict were sown, waiting for the right moment to sprout into open warfare. The First Punic War, a clash of civilizations, was only a matter of time. The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the fate of the Mediterranean world. Section 4, the spark ignites, the Mamertines' plea, and the outbreak of war. The First Punic War, a conflict of unprecedented scale, was ignited by a seemingly insignificant event, the plea of the Mamertines. These mercenaries, originally from Campania, had seized the city of Messana in Sicily, a strategic location that would soon become the epicenter of a colossal struggle. The Mamertines, after taking control of Messana, found themselves in a precarious position. They faced an imminent threat from the powerful city-state of Syracuse, which sought to reclaim the territory and expel the intruders. In a desperate bid for survival, the Mamertines appealed to both Rome and Carthage for aid. This plea for assistance was not just a cry for help, but a strategic move that would draw two of the ancient world's most formidable powers into a direct confrontation. This presented a dilemma for both powers. Rome and Carthage were wary of each other, and any intervention in Messana could lead to a larger conflict. Yet, the opportunity to gain a foothold in Sicily was too significant to ignore. Intervention would mean a direct confrontation, a risk that neither seemed eager to take. However, the strategic importance of Messana was undeniable. Control over this city meant control over the strait between Italy and Sicily, a crucial maritime passage. The strategic importance of Messana was undeniable. Whoever controlled Messana would have a significant advantage in the region, influencing trade routes and military movements. Rome, recognizing an opportunity to expand its influence and curb Carthaginian power, made a fateful decision. The Roman Senate, after much deliberation, decided to send troops to Messana, marking the beginning of a new era of conflict. It decided to intervene, ultimately triggering the First Punic War. This intervention was not just a military maneuver, but a calculated political move that would set the stage for decades of warfare. This decision would have far-reaching consequences. The First Punic War would become a protracted and bloody conflict, testing the limits of Roman military might and challenging its traditional strategies. It marked the beginning of a long and bloody conflict that would test the limits of Roman military might, challenge its traditional strategies, and ultimately reshape the geopolitical landscape of the Mediterranean. The war would see numerous battles, shifting alliances, and immense sacrifices, forever altering the course of history. Section 5. First blood on Sicilian sands, the Siege of Agrigentum. The Roman intervention in Sicily marked the beginning of the First Punic War. The first major engagement, the Siege of Agrigentum in 262 BC, provided a harsh lesson for the Romans. Agrigentum, a heavily fortified Carthaginian stronghold, posed a formidable challenge to the Roman army. The Romans, accustomed to land battles, found themselves ill-equipped for siege warfare. The siege dragged on for months, testing the Romans' patience and resolve. Despite their initial struggles, the Romans displayed their characteristic tenacity and adaptability. They learned from their mistakes, gradually gaining the upper hand. The Carthaginian forces, facing dwindling supplies and mounting casualties, eventually surrendered the city. The Roman victory at Agrigentum, though hard-fought, proved to be a turning point. It demonstrated the Roman army's ability to overcome challenges and marked the beginning of a long and arduous campaign to wrest control of Sicily from Carthage.